The responsibilities of a coach are different in certain ways, but I think in certain sports, excuse me. But the main responsibility for me as a coach is you must organise your team. Your team must understand and play in the manner that you want them to within the sport that I coach, within football. There's certain elements and phases of the game that all players have to understand. The organisation of those game day things are important. I mean, training is important, extremely important, but really the games are what matters. So it's your responsibility as a coach is to make sure that during the games everyone understands their roles and responsibilities. And within training, you put those components in that the game really is an end product that everyone understands. Once again, I will refer, and I always refer to players. The game's about players. We don't play the game. We put people on the park and hope that they do it. And if we hope that they do it, then it won't happen. It's about the coach then is responsible for making those players understand what they want from them and what they want from the team. Really to do that. So I think that's one of the main things to be responsible for. But you have to be a complete walking role model for your players. If you're asking a player to actually do something and you can't portray that personality trait yourself, I think that you're going to struggle. So you must be responsible. So how you reflect, how you set up your change room, how you set your team structure, your team criteria, your player criteria, all those things, they have to be. You have to be a walking example of those character traits that you asking the players to portray. And once again, the game is very much about the players, and I think you're responsible to your players and the different learning styles that they have, and how they can portray them into the end product, which is the game itself. Coaching at any level, I think, requires the same types of ability in a personality, but to be a top level or a world-class coach to work at international level, once again, I suppose I reiterate the time you have to do in your learning processes through the different levels of representation. But really world-class coaches, I think there's a definite, you will see in any sport, there's a definite personality makeup of this, and I see a lot from the people that are really world-class coaches is that they have a personality, and their personality you see reflected within their teams that they coach. I think you see the teams that they coach reflect the coach's personality. Someone who I admire, there's a lot of coaches I admire, but you can see it within world-class coaches, is that their personality is reflected in their team. And I think the ability, if you want to work at the highest level, to understand, one, how people learn, and that the game is about the players that play the game. And if you can work at that level where the players that understand you and understand their game, and then you're onto something really special. To be the highest or world class, I would say, you really have to be resilient. I think any world class coach would have come through a number of knockbacks, and they would have continued on their pathway but headed in a different direction due to those knockbacks. But anyone who's world-class coach, believe me, would have taken a lot of criticism and a lot of hard knocks to get there. So they've done those hard yards, as we say. But to be world-class, you really have to have done those times, understand your players, understand your philosophy and their philosophy, and marry the two together to produce a winning outcome. Coaching over the years, I've been lucky enough to be a professional coach for about 10 years now, and so it's been my job. So really, that's what I've appreciated about it. What it's meant to me is really that I've been able to give something back to a game that I love. I was a player, and I really enjoyed being a player. But the highs I've got from being a coach have been more than the highs I got from being a player. But also, the lows I've got from being a coach have also been lower than the player also. But it means a great deal to me, because it means I can inspire other people. And the ability to inspire, I think, is one of the key factors in a coach. And I've really enjoyed being able to inspire people and make a difference to people and teams. I'm very much about, I coach a team sport, but about coaching individuals to be able to play within teams is important. So as a team, we all have the same, I guess, task that we're all working towards it, and we've all got individual parts of the will to be a part of. So really, that sort of thing for me has meant a great deal. That I've had the ability to inspire other people, and that the highs and lows that I've got from coaching have been far more than the highs that I got from playing. So it's meant a great deal to me to be involved in affecting other people's lives and the sport in general in New Zealand in a very positive manner. The advice really I'd like to give to aspiring coaches is a couple of things really. I think the first thing that I would say is that you really have to do the hard time, what I call it, the time in the trenches. You have to do that type of work, so you have to really get alongside some good coaches and some good people and learn from them and do your time within the trenches of football coaching and football management. Those things are important. You can't just go from being a player to being a coach. There's a lot of things you have to learn. And so the time of really working within those trenches, I call them, and working through things that go for you and against you, and understanding, and that gives you an ability to be resilient as a coach, and you do need to do that time, and that time has different time frames, but it has to be done. You just can't jump from in my opinion, from a player to a coach. It definitely has to be done. The second piece of advice really, and I'm very passionate about this, is that you do have to have the qualifications to work at levels that you do. Within New Zealand, that's one small criticism I have, is that there's a lot of people that are working within the football system in New Zealand and haven't actually done qualifications, in my opinion, to work at those levels. I think the qualifications are important. I think you have to get the highest level you can. I'm still learning all the time. I'm desperate to continue to do those things. Yes, I hold quite high coaching qualifications, but I really wanted to aspire to do more of those. Also, because of the coaching qualifications that I've done, I've been lucky to be in a number of good coaching qualifications. But when you do something like UEFA A licence, you're around some incredible people, and so what you learn off of the field and off of the actual coaching philosophies within chatting just to guys who have gone through similar ups and downs and lows and highs. And some of these people would have, and when I was lucky enough to do an A licence, I was working with people that have worked international and played international football, gone to World Cups, and so I've been lucky enough to do that. And so just through that alone, the networking you find from working with and alongside other people doing coaching courses is fantastic. So what you learn on the grass is obviously of huge benefit, and also with what you learn off of it from the other candidates, it also takes you in good stead. And there's a lot of things that I've learned from being around great people, and for me, you must do those things, and you must have the ability to be able to teach on and off the field, and take the coaching philosophy that you have from all of those people, from your courses. But you must do these courses, because really you'll find at some point that sometime you will need to have done these things to make you the coach that you wish to be.